Hi guys, welcome to this episode of For the Love of Cars. Today, we are diving into Toyota's most legendary and longest running passenger vehicle, the sedan, the Toyota Crown. Yay! From the humble beginnings in 1955, where it was just a bare car that I would not even want to drive, to the high-tech, modern, luxurious car, the Toyota Crown has always been a symbol of class, elegance, and of course, improvement. Continuous improvement, Mujiman, the Kaizen principle, Toyota Jegobedia. So we have the Toyota Crown. Today, we are going to dive into a car that you guys have seen on the road, probably admired, probably loved, and a car that I experienced and drove around and saw how it feels. We have the Toyota Crown here. This is a 2007 model. This is the S180. Omanyisa janga zitambula from the S10, S20, S30. This is the S180. Now, this model was made between 2003 and 2008. It has a V6 engine, the same engine that you'll find in the Mark X of the same model. Mbaragavu. Now, what's different? What makes this car different from the Toyota Mark X? Not just the crown. Of course, it has a crown, but not just the crown. Not just the lights, of course the lights are different. Not just the humongous size, of course it's bigger. Not just the fact that it doesn't just have curves. It has curves, it has hips, it has everything. Now, I want us to explore the history of this car. The story begins in 1955 when Toyota produced its first passenger vehicle, the Toyota Crown. It's what they call the RS-30, a car that had a 1.5-liter engine. It was, okay, it doesn't look very pleasant for me, but at that time, it was something else. It was strange. It gave a straight 48 horsepower, 3-speed manual vehicle. That was the first model. It ran up to 1962. In 1962, they introduced the second generation, which they call the S40. Cut the S40 here, America. They were copying the American. They wanted to get the international market. You know how Americans are. They have always been lazy. They wanted automatic vehicles. So they went away from their 3-speed manual and they created the 2-speed automatic. They copied from America. They also made a 1.9-liter engine. Station wagon, something that we call the estate here in Uganda. They took a second generation, they again now S40. In 1967, they created the third generation, which is called the S50. Now, this time they were trying to be innovative. How manufacturers can move around. They still had their station wagon, but they created a pickup. They created a double cabin pickup. They even created a 2-door hard top. Batetekanya 4-cylinder balese 2 liter balese 2.3 liter batetekanyizanga ebintu bitabuse omanya katale kali katabuse ebiseera ebyo mwete mwaliyo, but we were there. The fourth generation, which had the S60 and S70, started in 1971 up to 1974. Kakati no. In the fourth generation, this is when they started the 2.6-liter engine, Nebalita Royal Saloon, Royal Deluxe, Kwigamba. They even had the coupe for the guys that were asking about the coupe. The coupe was also introduced here. Now they started introducing real luxury. The fifth generation would run from 1974 to 1979. S80 and the S100, they were just introducing the diesel, which is not really interesting. Who has ever even driven a diesel comfortably in a saloon or in a sedan? No one. They introduced fuel injection, as a technology there. The sixth generation came with the S110, which came with the diesel engine. Never could in a turbocharged version. I've not seen the turbocharged version on Ugandan roads. Probably limited edition. But that was introduced in the sixth generation, the S110. The S120 came with a 4-wheel independent suspension. Do you know what that means? In a Morocco already skida mabega. Kateba jukuwenge ina 4-wheel drive. It gave you 190 horsepower. That's a lot of horsepower. So people like this one because it was kind of the replacement of the Toyota Supra. Obitegera, gaba manyi, gaba masavu. That's the S120. The S130, which came as the 8th generation, was created between 1987 to 1991. Yaja with something special. It came with the color screen. Zino screen is a It came with CD-based navigation. For you to see where you're going, you had to insert a CD there and then ask the navigation to show you where you're going. Without the CD, it came with an inline 6, which was a 2.8-liter engine. Gate eina enofoje bayitaga 4Y. Yaba nisirinda nya. Ukitegera nenga zona za direct injection fuel injection system. Yeah, it was a new technology back then. Ukitegera kati you had 2.2-liter. That's special that came with it. Kugamba eranga manyi. You either choose the 2.8-liter or the 2.2. Ngera bora bakatu batu wa either 2.4 or 3-liter. They were at that time body at the peak of their production. 1991. If you saw in 1991 Toyota Crown, between the 10th and 11th generation, there was no significant change apart from the fact that they tried to work on the interior to make it more pretty, make it much more luxurious. And of course, they introduced what they call the mild hybrid 3-liter engine. But this is where we are, the 12th generation. Now, they always had these things of seats. They always had these things of the seats moving with the press of a button. They always had these things. They always had these things. But in the 12th generation, this is where they introduced the royal crown, the athlete crown, and then they introduced the V6 engine. The V6 engine. This is the time that the Mark X was also coming into play. The V6 engine was designed to give us more fuel efficiency while giving us performance. And this is where the engine that is in here was introduced, the 4GR. The 13th generation, the one that comes after this one, ran between 2008 and 2012. Akasera ako namwe mukamanyaka Mark X nga naye yagala okuwamba. But this, the crown is different. The crown that came after this established the crown's image as a luxury performance vehicle, because that's the time that Toyota introduced the TRD version that runs from 0 to 60 kilometers in only 4.4 seconds. When we married an V8 a year, it was up to 555 horsepower. Ochimanyi, do you know what it means? Okubango inendo go ye bikumi bitano matano mo bitano ngo bikuboti nga biduka. Do you know how much power that is? They introduced that. So Crown became something else. After the S200, Toyota introduced the S210 or S210 in December 2012. Bajita Reborn. They called it the Reborn. Now, the Reborn came with a V6 engine, still standard, hybrid options. Now, you guys have seen some of those Crowns that have hybrid. Those are 2012 models mostly. Performance. Then in 2013, they later the limited Reborn. The Reborn Pink, the Reborn Pink. It had a pink exterior. The limited edition. Have you seen a pink Crown anywhere? The current model is the model I'm not going to talk about. The 15th generation, the S220. 3.5-liter and above. Hybrid versions included. Now you're to veyo. Rashte togera kujitulina. But we have this car here. Why don't we talk about it? Can I show you how they open the boot? Can I show you? Let's close the boot. I'm going to show you how the boot is open. You come, you open the driver's door like this. You press this button here. And I want you to feel the click again. I want you to feel the click again. So I'm just going to get this microphone here and put it on top of here. And I will talk. I press the button. Okay. I'm going to talk. Just like that, the boot has opened. So the only thing you have to do now is put your microphone back here so that the people get a good sound, and then open the boot. And then it has this. This is supposed to bring back the boot so that warm. And of course, it has plenty of space. You see, someone was telling me some time ago that they cannot buy like a Mark X or something because it has no space. Now, Crown is for luxury. See akutika. But see how much space you have in here. That's how much space you have. You can fit an entire human being in there. But this car has made me I want you to just look at the lights when I press on the, I step on the brake. See how beautiful that is. See how beautiful that is. Now, this crown, because it's not your ordinary car, of course it has the Toyota, this is the Athlete, of course, and then the crown, and then we have the crown logo here, the badge. Come. Django Jirabe. That's why they make sure they rivet this here, because if they don't, people will steal the rivets. Let me show you. This car is meant to actually, it can take 3 passengers, but it's easy to take just 2 passengers. Oma atula wano na ateka wane chikopo che chai. And you have controls here to control the radio, and you have plenty of space here to also keep stuff here, and then the other passenger can sit here. And you have air conditioning, emabigeno. And you remember, you can also control, okay, it's independent, you can have your own. And then come here, come. And then you have these lights here, reading lights, in case you want to read something, just like in an aeroplane, yeah? And then you have handles here in case the person is going really fast, yeah? Just like a Land Cruiser. And you have speakers here. These are supposed to be tweeters, and then a huge speakers, and then you still have storage space in here, and then you have a dust holder here. And yeah, and then automatic mirrors. And then I love the finish. This is the chrome that goes all around here and here. Very easy to clean. And of course, the executive close of the door. Now this is a 2007 model, but you can just feel how it closes, yeah? Okay, we need to oil that one. Yeah, we need to oil it. But it has that close that I really like. Now I want us to go in the front. I told a baby that it be warmer. You know, my son sat in this car yesterday as I picked them from school, and they look like rich kids, eh? Like their dad is a planned minister or something. Now, when you come in here, this car gives you a cruise control, yeah. So if you want to drive with cruise control, this is something you can get. Steering controls for the sound. If in case you want to talk to someone over the phone, it doesn't give you Android Auto because it's an old version of a car, yeah. And then it gives you can control your windows from here. You can actually make them fold from here, just making them fold, yeah. And then your volume control right here, but also you can control your volume from here. This is slower than rolling the knob, yeah, but it also works. It's just so. And then something special is that you can actually have swinging air conditioning. You see, these fans actually, they swing. See. It can give you air this way and then give it to the person that other side. Yeah, and then you can have dual air conditioning. This is control for the driver side. Then you can give the passengers what they want as well. Yeah, and then I love the feel of yeah. And then it gives you traction control. Come, let me show you. It gives you traction control here. You can have traction control for when you go Sereda. You can have the sport mode as well. This is something the Mark X as well has. And then power ETT and snow. You can also have that. And then it gives you traditional CD. There is no CD in there. And then cassette, if you want to use cassette. And then when you have your storage here, the glove compartment, you can lock it with a key. And yeah, and just lovely. And then you have these lights up here for when you want to read something in the front. Yeah. And then if you are, for example, a woman and you want to make up, you have a light that comes together with this mirror. When you close the mirror, the light goes off. You open, the light comes back on. It happens on this side as well. Yeah. And then, of course, it has airbag here. It has airbag there. It has a speaker. It has 3 speakers on the dashboard, but it also has a speaker down here. Yeah. And storage. And you know, this is pure luxury. Naka mafuta onyiga pesa. Okay, good. And then you can have coin box here where you want, if you want to keep your coins. And then of course you have plenty of storage space. Storage here. You can, if you're driving, you can also put your cup here. And you also have storage here. You have storage here. And you can also lift this here, lift that, and then you have plenty of storage here to put stuff in there. And then nekana kasigara kali one. So it doesn't, I don't think it was made to keep so many things, but I love that I can rest my hand here when I am driving, yeah? So we are going to go up a tarmac road, Maram Road, like rudimentary Maram Road. And the first thing I'm going to do is traction control. Yeah, traction control yambako obutaserera nnyo. So I've pressed the button, and then of course we will go and see how we maneuver. It's a very uneven road, and this car has low profile tires. It has. So let's try to see how it maneuvers here. That's very well done. That's a first. So traction control basically works like in a motor car. Like you don't step on it ngalwana ni kubo. You just have to find a technique. That's the first step. I said it. Now you learn the trick of driving it. How bad do you use it? Let me try this other side. We got it. And then we go back. And then the trick is going this side. Go this side like that. Go against it. It's that easy. It's that easy. And because it's rear wheel, atengi mabega wazitowa, but you can manage. Let me see. This is how you know that someone knows how to drive a car. Katiwano, or you know, maneuvering or what? No kaite yembali, no kaite yembali, but just like that, you're done. And you know there is a way it's silent. You literally cannot feel the engine, but this car is very well padded. You literally never hear anything. Yeah. And we go. And now I think this last spot is a very challenging one, but tugenda kaitam. It has started. But go, and we drove it nice and slow. I said that I want to wamuoka, and it was kind of tricky, yeah, to maneuver. So all of you folks that have been saying and all the places where the Crown has had trouble, any other car would have trouble there. It's not just about a rear wheel drive car. Sometimes it's just about the location. Right, let me show you the engine before you go. It's actually very simple. You just shift it up here. But I don't know why it's hard. So this is the 4GR FSC engine that is in the 2004 Toyota Mark X, 2008 Mark X. It's in some Lexuses, you can find it there. It gives you up to 212 horsepower, and it gives you up to 260 Newton meters of torque at 3,800 RPMs. 6-cylinder. Ozibara cylinder Satweno. This is one of the engines that you cannot spoil. If you spoil this engine, obatomanyi Either you can make it overheat, which I've not been able to do, and the people that drove this car before were not able to do. And it's something that is lovely, very well padded. Yeah, and some of these cars you will find with a black cover. This has a silver cover. Some trims have silver cover, but with the crowns it has all silver. This car has been very well padded. Padding. Come. It's padded like this to make sure that you don't hear sounds and vibrations from outside. There is sponge here. There is sponge here. That's something you don't see in any car. There is sponge there and sponge there and sponge under every door, and even under the car there is sponge. And then there is sponge. Like I can box it the entire day and not feel pain. So that's how much it's padded. But there is a challenge. I took this car and I picked my kids from school. And let me just adjust to the height that I am when I'm driving. So I made sure I was here. I shifted it up to there. And then it was up to here. Yeah. And then this was my height. Even the backrest was there. And my kids and their mother were seated back here. And if you have a kid that is seated here and it keeps rolling, it's not as comfortable as some of those SUVs or the cars that are meant to give you the SUV feel. And the wife complained a little. So she said, I don't think I want this car, because even the way you sit in this car, you're not going to be seated like this. You're actually going to be seated like this. You're almost squatting. You're not seated in actual sense. When we sit on chairs, we sit like this, yeah? But here you sit like this. Now, our generation is used to sitting the flat way, like this. In most of those cars, be it a Sienta, if someone is used to sitting like this and they sit like this for a long distance, they'll definitely be uncomfortable. But there are people that are used to sitting like this. The people that drive the Corollas, the Mark X, the Primos. But even the Primo is a little raised than this. Now, in the generation when they started creating these cars, this was totally normal. But people now want seats that are a little raised, that make them feel like they are looking down on everyone else. Yeah. But the storage is okay. No one complained about it. The air conditioning, no one complained about it. The weight of the doors was also not complained about. And the feeling of driving around in a crown, no one complained about it. So what's my verdict in terms of comfort? I find that you feel the comfort of this car when you have just sat in it the first few minutes. You'll feel like it's really the epitome of comfort. But driving it around for an hour or two, it becomes ordinary. Now, for people that have big families, this is not your car. The sitting posture, if you're a family person, you have 3 kids, they'll not be able to sit behind here comfortably. Full-size adults may not actually be able to sit behind here comfortably. Like if someone is taller than me, imagine someone taller than me. I'm 5'9", and look at the little space that I have left. So you'll have to sit like this, which most people don't really like, yeah? And you know how sometimes chicks want to sit and cross-legged, they will not be very comfortable here. So if you have a family, probably a bigger car would be better. If you're buying this car and you have a chauffeur, it's going to be nice. Like now, I need to call my chauffeur. So is it worth the hype? Let me call my driver. Driver. I'm controlling volume from here. Did you know? I'm controlling volume from here. Is that maximum volume? Ebinya bikube mpola muzeyi. Otherwise nja kusala sente. Driver, mpa ku simu yange awo eri awo makkati. So you see the people that are supposed to be driven in this crown, they're supposed to be men of high standards. Let me just make a phone call here. Reduce the volume all the way down. Make a phone call here. But you know, people that sit behind just don't put on seatbelts. But no one puts on, even the minister. Even the president doesn't put on seatbelts. Hello? Yes, I'm seated in my crown here, being driven around by the driver. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. Life is like that. Life is like that. Yes, life is like that. Yes, okay. So that's how people that are driven in crown B take our sim. Now I'm wondering, you seated in the crown back for go take coin. You know, that's a good one. Let me put them here so that we don't forget them.
We're gonna make